If your draw length is not 28 inches, what poundage of bow should you get? Today, we're gonna find that out. Let's get to the point. It is standard for bow manufacturers to list a draw weight at a draw length. And the most common is a 28-inch draw length, and the draw length is how far you draw the bow back. But if you have shorter arms than a 28-inch draw length or longer arms, then the poundage will be off. So what we wanted to do is test this to see how far off it would be for every inch of draw length. So the best way to find this out is to test a bunch of different types of bows and record their draw weight at every inch from 20 to 30 inches. This is what we did, and then we graphed the data. First, I'm gonna give you the full generalized rule so that you can just go get the quick and dirty if you want it, and if you want a little more detail, we'll go into that next. Here's the general rule that will get you very close. Your draw weight will change 2 to 3 pounds for every inch of draw length added or subtracted. So if you want a 40-pound bow and you have a 26-inch draw length, what poundage of bow do you need to get in order to be close? You'll probably want to get a 45-pound bow, and it'll be close to 40 at your 26-inch draw length because it's going to decrease 2 to 3 pounds per inch of draw length. The same thing going in the other direction. So if you have a 30-inch draw length and you want a 45-pound bow, you're going to want to buy a 40-pound bow, and it'll be closer to a 45-pound bow at that 30-inch draw length. Okay, now for the nuances. We tested 6 bows, some reflex deflex, some long bows, and some recurve bows. We tested them every single pound from 20 to 30 inches of draw, and we graphed that. And then we averaged out all of those bows into one single graph. Check it out. What you'll notice on the graph is from 20 to 26 inches, we're basically exactly at an increase of 2 pounds on average per inch increased in draw length. But when we hit that 26 to 27, we jump up to nearly 2.5 pounds, and from 27 to 28, we jump up to 3 pounds. And then at 30, we're almost at 3.5 pounds. So that last 4 inches, it's going to increase quicker. It is fairly difficult to test the exact poundage at the exact draw length because we're using our eyes to see exactly where that is. So we have a deviance of 1/4 pound plus or minus with each single measurement. That's why we paid more attention to the averages than the individual bows and looked for common patterns. Another thing we realized is that the more we drew a bow, the lighter the poundage got. So what we did is first let's test that at 28 inches, and we drew the bow down to 28 inches, and then we went back to 20 and tested 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and when we got back to 28 inches again, the second measurement of 28 inches after exercising the bow limbs was consistently 1/2 pound to 1 pound lighter. So it changes. This material is, it's a moving bow, so the material is not going to be completely consistent entirely. So taking a bunch of information and taking the averages from all that information, I think helps us understand what's going on more than potentially looking at only one bow because of the possible variability in the measuring system. The shorter in length the bow is, the quicker it'll increase at the end. And the longer in length the bow is, it'll increase slower at the end in general. This is primarily because the shorter bows are gonna start stacking, which has a really hard, quick, deep increase at the very end of the graph. Whereas a really long bow, a 70-inch bow, or even a 68-inch long bow, it's going to have a slower increase at the end because it could still keep bending to probably 33, 34 inches. We found that recurve bows increase the quickest at the end, whereas long bows increase the slowest, and reflex deflex bows are kind of in the middle. We also found a lot of consistency throughout all the bows we tested, which was actually a little surprising to me. The numbers I'm giving today are going to be a very accurate representation of the most common bows are purchased on the market. If you're buying unique bows, custom bows, odd bows, the numbers could be further off, but most likely from making custom bows myself, this is gonna be pretty stinking accurate unless you have something that is below a 57-inch length bow, or you have something that is above a 68-inch length bow. With that, I'll see you on the next video. Shatterproof Archery is the place to go to find your traditional archery gear. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.